G'day geeks, my name is Chris and in this video we are talking about ROM the Space Knight. So I was in JB Hi-Fi recently and they had the full wave of 6 figures from this new Marvel Legends line. ROM the Space Knight has been flying off the shelves, a obscure character but a very cool looking sci-fi one. So this was $40 from JB Hi-Fi, which is the cheapest I've seen it anywhere really. So we're going to talk about this figure. We're also going to talk about a couple of figures from pop culture that I got recently, including Superboy Prime and Green Arrow, which is the new figure from the DC Multiverse line from McFarlane Toys. So a bit of Marvel and a bit of DC. Let's go. Here is ROM the Space Knight. So he kind of is a obscure 70s, 80s Marvel Comics character who had a limited series during that time. Bit of an oddball character, hasn't appeared in any Marvel cartoons or live action series or even video games as far as I'm aware. Originally started life as a toy and then kind of has gained a cult following since. So ROM the Space Knight is the latest from the Marvel Legends series of action figures, and these are all available now. In fact, I found him for $40 at JB Hi-Fi, which was a nice surprise, so a bit cheaper than Amazon. And the other figures in this wave are Marvel's Banshee, one of the earlier X-Men characters. We got the Ultimate version of Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ultimate Iron Man from the comics, Adam Warlock, whose history is really tied in with the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity Saga, and Daken, who is Wolverine's son, and he's not a nice guy. So each of these characters comes with a little replica of their first appearance in their comics, which is pretty cool, and a bio in English and a few other languages. So the packaging on these is awesome, very different from the other Marvel Legends series that has come before. As you can see, a few different accessories. He's very silvery, glowy red eyes, and yeah, I just love the packaging on this latest series with all the fonts and all that kind of stuff. They've really put a lot of effort into the packaging and he looks pretty awesome just like this. But you know what, I'm going to open ROM and let him breathe. So lovely, so shiny. So here is ROM out of his lovely thick card back, I must say. And yeah, he comes with a few different accessories. Comes with alternate hands, which all Marvel Legends figures do generally. He comes with a cool blaster, so his guns are pretty epic. A bit of a red blasting effect as well, which you can just plug in on there. So yes, he can hold these in either hand, and he comes with his little pretty cool comic as well, which he can just hold in his hand. So that's his first appearance, and it's very simple, as you can see, all clad in silver and red, pretty much just 2 colors, but very poseable. He kind of looks like a Cylon or some kind of Doctor Who villain. He's got that kind of feel about him, and he's got the kind of pirate boots, and just what a lovely oddball character. I'd actually just having him in hand, it's quite a soft pliable plastic actually. I like the way they've done the ab crunch there as well, incorporated that into the costume as such. So yeah, a simple design but such a classic character, and he's going to look great on the shelf. He kind of goes well with Crystar, who is another obscure Marvel Comics hero who hasn't really had a lot of time in the spotlight, and Marvel Legends surprised us all. Hasbro surprised us all by releasing a Crystar Marvel Legends figure recently as well. So yeah, pretty cool. I don't have a nostalgia or anything for ROM. He's not necessarily a favourite character of mine, but just the fact that we are getting these very obscure Marvel characters now in the Marvel Legends series, that just makes me happy. Here he is with Crystar. So we've got a shiny guy and a translucent guy, and they do pair well together. So yes, the blast effects as well really elevate the character. As I said, simple design, but very pliable, I must say, and the extra fists and accessories and the little comic is quite a cute touch. So yes, there's ROM. He's going to go well in my kind of sci-fi shelf, but I guess he fits obviously quite well with my Marvel Legends shelf too. I got this little sticker in the box from Pop Culture, which is very nice. So this is a picture of their little ape mascot kind of person. So don't know if that's going to be a regular thing, but thanks Pop Culture. And here is the Green Arrow figure. So this is Green Arrow Connor Hawke, who is the son of Oliver Queen. And Oliver Queen is the Arrow from the Arrow TV series and the Injustice games, that kind of thing. He's probably the most famous, and so Green Arrow took over his father's mantle, Connor Hawke, here in the 90s. So I think this version of Green Arrow, Connor Hawke, first appeared in 1994, and it's one of the versions that I grew up with. I was reading comics when Connor took over the mantle of Green Arrow, and it was a good time in the 90s. And so this is a rare figure of Connor Hawke. We don't actually have a lot of Connor Hawke Green Arrow figures. I have one other which I'll show later, but this is somewhat similar to his comic book look. McFarlane Toys, who produced this figure, wants to add a lot of lines and stuff to the costume, just a bit of extra detailing, which isn't really necessary, but they put lines everywhere and a bit of texture and whatnot. But the greens and the browns, the gold on his arm, all that kind of stuff is very accurate. He comes with the usual DC display base with a little peg for his foothold. Comes with a backpack or his quiver to store all his arrows in. Comes with some arrows, and funnily enough, they're green arrows, so they just go straight into the backpack and they don't come out, which is pretty cool. So yes, and they just fit right in there. And obviously, what is an arrow without a bow? And he comes with this lovely little bow, somewhat flexible, just made of a bit of a lighter plastic, and it's got a bit of the gold kind of filigree. Is that the word I'm looking for? But pretty cool looking bow. And he also comes with a collector card. Now this is the more modern version of his costume, that picture, so it doesn't necessarily reflect the actual figure himself. And it comes with a bio of the character on the back as well, and that is the same artwork that is on the back of the packaging there. So that's Green Arrow Connor Hawke from McFarlane Toys. But yes, pretty cool. So I like all the colours. The head portrait I'm not exactly sold on. He looks a bit perhaps cartoony, a bit simple, but he does have the blonde. Does have the ticking all the boxes with the brown kind of things, tunic, the hood, the gold little armband, and the brown boots, and the little hood, the green bandana, looks like a Ninja Turtle, and so very much looks like Connor Hawke Green Arrow. And you'll see in the background there, I've got a bit of comparison. That's what Connor Hawke looks like from the comic. So I think that's the last issue of the original series that Connor Hawke was the main star in. So not a bad figure. Very happy to add Connor Hawke into my shelf, and you'll see that yes, that's the hole that's the backpack goes in. Unfortunately, Connor Hawke suffers from the same fate as a lot of kind of archer based figures. I'm just thinking of Hank from Hasbro Dungeons and Dragons line, where you can't really get a lot of full extension to make it look like a natural kind of bow and arrow firing pose. I mean, I'll bring it back any further than that, I'm going to snap it, but at least the trigger hands work. And so look, it's not perfect, but at least you can get him actually holding the bow, and it's pretty detailed as well. You can also get him in a pretty cool pose where he's drawing one of the arrows from the back. So at least the McFarlane Toys, despite all their unnecessary, perhaps at times, flourishes with all the details to the costume, at least they are very poseable. I will say that Green Arrow from McFarlane Toys is also a gold label edition, which you will see there, and that just means that he's an exclusive figure, which I don't think affects us here in Australia too much. As I said, I got this figure from Pop Culture online, which was readily available, and this is the other figure of Connor Hawke Green Arrow. You can see the colours are pretty similar, but a lot lighter, I guess, and the Total Justice light is one of my favourites. It's very much of the 90s with the limited articulation, oversized accessories, but ticking all the boxes of what Connor Hawke actually looks like. So yes, pretty similar, but obviously brighter colours. As it says on the back of the box, this is Superboy Prime. So he's a very complicated character with a convoluted past from DC Comics history, but he basically was a villain, effectively a twisted version of Superboy from an alternate dimension. Very complicated backstory. Mainly appeared in Infinite Crisis, and this is a costume very similar to the one he wore in the comics. Not exactly, but close enough. He's got the rubber cape. He's got all the piping and stuff, which he had in the comics as well. It's got the red symbol with a black background. And unfortunately, though, you'll notice his face. He does have the side eye kind of thing going on. And this is a bit of an older figure. This is a couple of years old now, but this was during a time where Todd McFarlane of McFarlane Toys decided he didn't want his action figures to be facing forward, and he's going to give them eyes where they face right or face left, because he thought they looked too much like mannequins and lifeless dolls if they were just facing forward, so he gave them the side eyes. Thankfully, collectors, action figure fans, fought against that because it just was not a good idea, and he doesn't do that anymore. But this is one of the figures that unfortunately does have the side eye. So this is Superboy Prime, and as I said, Infinite Crisis. It doesn't have a picture of the comic on the back, just has a picture of the action figure, and that's the same as the little collector card. If you want to wrap your head around his in-depth backstory, you can just read the Superboy Prime card there. He also comes with a flight stand, which is pretty cool. So McFarlane have given a few flight stands in their past, and it's basically just clips on, and it's clear, has a bit of a pivot that goes around this little claw goes around their waist, and you can pose them so they're hovering in the air, which is always a nice touch. I wish we had more flight stands in our action figures. So yes, this is very cheap from Pop Culture. I've had my eye on him for a while, so happy to add Superboy Prime.